Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. This is a behind the scenes interview with some of the folks that worked with me on The Darkness at the Brink of Ohio. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some introductions, and I'm going to pass over the introductions starting with Aaron. Can you please tell us your name, your pronouns, and what you did for The Darkness at the Brink of Ohio?
Hello, I'm Aaron Catano-Saez, use he, him pronouns, and I voiced DJ Mike, the everyone's best friend, and that's it. And he's just a good guy, just a good dude.
He is a good guy.
Yeah, I hope he turns out okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Austin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Austin Taylor. My pronouns are he, they, she. Oh, what I did, I said words for this game. I was one of the callers. I don't remember my caller's name. I'll be so honest. I don't know if I had a name. I had a name for sure. Don't remember, but I do know that I am DJ Mike's #1 fan, and anyone who can test that, well, I got something for you.
Holy shit.
That's some real character work that you don't remember your name, but you do remember your priorities. And
Yeah,
I remember this
absolutely.
parasocial relationship.
I remember what's important. Why do I need to know my name when there's DJ Mike?
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm David. All the pronouns belong to me. I made 5 minutes of music for this game that I'm really proud of, that I feel like turned out really well. I'm praising myself, but I'm really happy with it. I think it sounds great.
It does sound great.
Yeah, folks love it. And finally, I'm Banana Chan. My pronouns are she, they, and he. And I am the designer of The Darkness at the Brink of Ohio. So my first question for everyone here is, have you ever experienced a parasocial relationship?
Jeez.
Like,
on the receiving end or the the giver end?
Like if I had someone call me like DJ Mike and like, hey, yeah, okay. I feel like it's hard to know right? Like, I don't know. I feel like the answer has to be probably. Would we consider people coming up to you and like wanting selfies at conventions parasocial? Is that a thing?
I feel like it's like a sliding scale where, like, we think of DJ Mike, someone calling, be like, I'm in love with you. Yeah. But also I feel like it's the understanding of familiarity with someone, even at a small level, where it's like, I think this person's a nice person. I'm like, you don't fucking know me, So it can be anywhere from like, I'm best friends with Ted Danson, like he's my best friend, to like, I don't know, I just think Katy Perry's probably fun. People say that, like, I think Katy Perry's probably like a fun person. You're like, you don't fucking know this person. You've made that up in your head.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Then yes, absolutely. I have had people act familiar on the internet. I know that I think about it, but I would count, like, if I've never met them before, like, I need to say I'm fine with selfies. If you want to selfie with me, it's really whatever. I don't care. But I do think it's on that scale, right? Of like, I've never, maybe I've met you before and don't remember, in which case I apologize. I'm terrible with names. But it's like, what possesses someone to, hey, I've never met you before. Can we have a picture? Right? Like, it happens to like real famous people all the time, right? And people are like, oh, they should just do it. They're like, I think about Anthony Mackie. People like dog on him because he doesn't want to talk to people. He doesn't want pictures. Like, if you talk to him and he doesn't know you, he'll just say no. If he's not at an event where he has to talk to you, feel like, he saw me, and I'm like, I don't know. He's just like trying to get gas.
Protect himself and like, be a normal person. Cling to normalcy in the world of fame and celebrity. Even like, that's why the term micro celebrity is like now exists, because in small spheres, I mean, people have created celebrity from like, this person plays Minecraft and I like it, and therefore I know them. And you're like, buddy, thanks for giving to their Patreon though.
New Patreon tier for $5. You can take a selfie.
For $5, you get to message me hi every day. I don't have to respond to it, but you can know that I've seen it.
It'll say red at the bottom.
No, but I think I'm gonna come in with like a very hot take. I think every relationship is on some level inherently like relies on the fact that we make assumptions about what we know about other people, and like we have this internal idea of them. And I think that just like with parasocial relationships, that becomes problematic when it crosses a personal boundary for them. So like with celebrities, for instance, if someone says, "Hey, I don't want photos," if someone runs up anyways and takes that, so like to me that's the like boundary, right? But obviously there's a lot of gray area, and I think we would all agree that calling someone who you've never spoken to before and being like, "I love you," is too far. But I feel like there's a whole lot of gray in that continuum of like, there are people online who have just messaged me being like, "Hey, I like your videos. Can we talk about this thing you talked about?" And sometimes I'm like, "Sure, okay, I'll spend 2 or 3 minutes chatting with them. Why not?"
Yeah, it's a sad concept, because for me, I know where it comes. I don't know where it comes from. I'm not a fucking sociologist. However, I know that it's like a lot of it comes from like the shitty, lonely world that you exist in. And so you go hunting for levels of comfort and familiarity, even if it's from strangers, that you can imprint a whole fucking backstory on this fictional person that you've created. And like, I know where it comes from. You know, like, man, I've been listening to this radio DJ in my car late at night driving to work, where it's like, oh, work. That is the catalyst for this, is you having to work a late night shift. Fuck, that sucks. So I get it. I get it. So yes to both. I've been in a parasocial relationship, and I've experienced one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was like, have I? Yeah, Tom Holland and Zendaya. I don't know those people at all. But have I imprinted what I think their relationship is like? Absolutely. Yeah. That's my one little... everybody gets one little comfort parasocial where I'm like, this is mine. I'll live in this fantasy. I'll never know these people.
Yeah, I caught myself in college after I saw a Broadway show. I waited at the stage door and was raving to this actor about how brilliant she was. And then I was like, the fuck am I doing?
What am I doing?
She wants to go home, and I am being that. Oh fuck! But I'm like, no. If I were an actor, I would love for somebody to tell me. And I'm like, what am I talking about?
Not you, a man rushing an actress in an alley alone at night.
There's the whole barricade thing. It's very formal. I'm not like, hey. I thought you were brilliant. No, all right. Move anyway.
So that was a very heavy question that I came in with, but I'm gonna turn it over to a little bit of a lighter question, which is, what was your favorite part of working on the project?
I would say I'm happy to jump in here, in that I feel like my answers all kind of fall into the same category of thing. Which is that because you had outlined so much of the structure for this in advance, there were like certain, it's almost like time travel, where like, I know that this music has to be something that would make DJ Mike freak out a little bit. That's a great starting point. That's a really fun starting point. And then from there also, you asked, like when we first talked about the project, you said, "Hey, so you did that bit of Foley work for Forgery. Can I do a scream for this?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's absolutely." So like,
I have so many takes of that, because I did not know how to do it.
It came out really great for what
I was in the bathroom doing those screams, and my partner was just like, "What is going on? What are you doing?"
I love that. Well, yeah, I think they came out great. But yeah, so like, and then also with my computer breaking, I felt like I was really reined in and had like a bunch of parameters for it. And I think that's when I'm most creative. I'm not a person who functions without structure. So that's like a very neurospicy answer, but I enjoyed the elements of structure built in inherently to the project, with it having the script and all that. Yeah.
I liked leaving weird almost like vocal Easter eggs for people to find, because like Mike's voice is fucking, sorry if I'm cursing, but Mike's voice is so weird in this game, and it's by design, where like sometimes he's like, "Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron's kind of vaguely voice. So just changing, so it gets weirder and heavier." And it's like, you know, leaving these little clues for you to just feel uncomfortable but not be distracted by it was a fun game. for me to play with sending the files to you of being like, I wonder if you'll catch this one, because they're like even little things like I'm looking forward to spending time with you. It's just like, ew, like it's just off-putting a lot. So I enjoyed making off-putting vocal choices, not for anyone to go like, what was that? It's more of just like, ew, I didn't like that. Anyway, the song is playing, so I have to journal, ew, I feel hi. Anyway, that's my favorite part.
I think there's something really clever that it does, which is everyone kind of starts a little bit against Mike at the beginning, but then as the world around him gets weirder, you are like, the amount of acceptable strangeness from Mike goes up.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is my favorite thing anytime I have to record audio, which is leaving notes for the person to edit the audio. I just like telling people they're doing a good job, or, oh, I'm sorry that take was bad, or that was my dog. Wait, hold on, do you want to hear her talk? I like doing stuff like that. I think it's cute. I don't edit audio, but I hope it brings joy to people who have to listen to like. I've never edited audio. No, I've edited audio twice. I hated every second of it.
I was about to say, God bless you.
Yeah. So I like to think, I'm like, what would have made that more enjoyable? A little note, like as I'm listening, I'm just like, hey, I hope you're doing a good job. I hope you're having a great day.
Easter eggs, leaving Easter eggs and little treasures behind. It's what it's all about.
I had to edit the audio, and I had a great time listening to this.
Incredible.
Thank you. My next question is, what was the weirdest part of working on the project?
I have mine, if I can. The weird transformation sequence, because spoilers.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Put somewhere here, spoiler.
The like end monologue thing with the transformation was so... Well, one, so this is inside baseball. Before I got sent the references for the movies that Banana was making, I sent over takes of this where I swear to God, I was like transforming, like screaming bloody murder. I can dig them up from some dark annal of emails. But my point is really getting in touch with your references and the style. It's weird to do. It's so uncomfortable when it's restrained, and that's the hard part about it, where it's this subdued, like, it's not huge. It's just uncomfortable and tiny and gross. But you, the performer, can't know it's gross. But I, sitting alone in a booth going, and then looking at the waveforms, be like, yeah, it looks fine, but this is so uncomfortable, and sending them off like. It's a new experience for me as someone who, no, I'm not going to say that on this interview, but I have worked on projects that are not safe for work in the past with my voice. We'll say that. Sure. This was another level of discomfort in terms of like, imagine Jeff Goldblum turning into the Fly and his like arm ripping off, that goo sound. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So that.
I'm happy I sent that reference over.
Yeah, it was super helpful.
I think the weirdest thing for me is trying to channel
sorry, I'm throwing motherfucking hands at my desk.
Was trying to channel because I was like the creepy, like I love you the best caller, and there might be more of us, I don't remember, but I really it was really weird because like I thought of, so does anyone else listen to the band Say Anything?
Mm-mm.
It's been a minute, but I'm
okay. So there's a band Say Anything, and then there's a rapper called Watsky, and they both have songs about like having like a stalker fan. And I was like listening to those songs, trying to channel like, who is this person they're writing about, because that's who's calling this radio DJ. And it's hard to conceptualize like being that far gone until being a fan of someone, right? Like I'm like, the closest thing I have is like, I'm a big fan of Margot Robbie, but I couldn't. I'm still like leagues away from like I find her personal phone number and call her and leave her a weird voicemail. So it's like weird to think like this is like fun. I don't know if haha pretend, but it's fun pretend time. But I'm like, man, no, people do this. Like, this happens to people probably daily for some people.
Yeah. Getting into that headspace is definitely, for just the general tone of this game, is very uncomfortable because, like, for DJ Mike, it's like, imagine if your DMs were flooded by like people being like, hi, and they weren't like, you know, porn and bio bots. If they were real people, you know, imagine if that was like real, like that's like you hear people getting too famous on the internet and it says like, oh, they can't use Twitter anymore. You know, that phrase. And I'm like, that would make my chest crumble like with stress, because the idea of like being like, no, there are eyes on you, on your digital footprint and your digital existence all the time, because that's the version of DJ Mike. And getting to that headspace, it's so uncomfortable, even for like a listener, a caller. It's sad, but it's real and it's very scary.
That's scary enough. That's scary enough without like every other aspect.
Yes. Yeah. Without bugs alone, someone calling in, like, imagine like DJ Mike, if that was a regular, I kept thinking like the first couple calls, that was like average for Mike, where it's like, oh, I love you. And you're like, okay, thanks. But then it's like, what is the headspace of like not being able to use Twitter or do your job? Yeah. And it's also like 3 a.m.
Yeah. 3 a.m. and everyone knows where you are.
Yes, it's 3 a.m. and you know where I am. Oh boy.
I think my answer to this question would be that, like, so working on the music, my sort of thought process was, okay, if this entity, if the darkness at the Brink of Ohio, the entity known as the darkness at the Brink of Ohio, was making music, what would be like why would it be different than the music that people make? Well, it would mistake context for content. It would not understand that the music playing in someone's car and the sounds of driving the car are separate. That like, and starting from that point, I got myself into a weird place of existential dread of like, oh, this is what AI does with like it just sort of turning everything into one thing that isn't like human or natural. And it was a bizarre sort of reckoning with that, like doing it to myself to some extent. But as far as weirdest elements of working on this, I would say that that's pretty high up there.
Do you have a favorite horror game or movie or any creepy pieces of music that you enjoy?
So I was thinking about this because I am on record as like horror is scary bad. The things I can think of, like, I can't think of a horror movie that isn't. I can think of a horror movie that isn't just Jordan Peele, which doesn't feel enough. But I can think of like I'm really into horror anime for whatever reason. Like one of my favorite anime is Hellgirl. Which, a brief synopsis, Hellgirl is about a girl from hell, and she's like a demon or a devil or something, and she like convinces people to sell their soul to her for like things they want. So like one is like a kid's like, I don't be bullied anymore, and the kid stops being bullied, and the same day the bullying stops, they get like hit by a car. It's like always like a like monkey paw, like you'll get it and you're going to enjoy it for like literally 20 minutes and then you will be going to hell. And it's always like, it is a sad, disturbing, scary show because it's like the saddest story. Like the people doing it, you're like, no, I get it. But it's like there's never like they feel bad or they get out of it or whatever. They're like, this is our job. Like our job is to convince you your life is that miserable, and it's like, fuck. But I like that one a lot. I'm in there's another horror anime called Another, actually, which I won't belabor, but horror anime is like, okay, I don't know why, maybe because they're cartoons, I don't know.
For sure.
I have a favorite game. I'm a huge video game person. Resident Evil is my jam. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. That's my favorite, like, horror. I like the stress of survival horror. Yeah. But music, I even before Fallout, I enjoyed like the Andrew Sisters era music because of one, it's that like the real distorted sound that can be on those old albums, but also the horrid working conditions and shit of that era make it very like, oh, they're not having any fucking fun. And it sounds like, if you were to, back then, I would use the word like it's dystopian. They'd be like, yeah, it took 14 hours of recording straight and there are no breaks and cigarettes in the air to get that done. You're like, holy shit. And they got paid what? Nothing? Terrible? Oh, that's sad. And that kind of stuff, it creates an eerie ambiance that Fallout has taken and fucking sprinted with. But I love that shit. It creates such a good atmosphere of awkward and like stress.
I love that answer. And you're immediately reminding me of there's a Jimi Hendrix Three Little Bears Christmas song, and he is having the worst time recording it. You can literally hear him on the mic at one point being like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. I think I'm gonna go. Horror music and game in one. Dying Light, both great soundtrack by Powell Blastcheck and great horror video game. The Summoner, the principal track for that by an artist called Wave Shaper, also great. I'm really into like synth wave, dark wave kind of stuff. And then I mean, Dying Light, already mentioned a horror game. The other horror game I really like is Dead Space, in particular Dead Space 2. To me, there was an interview with one of the creators of X-Files that's always stuck with me, which was horror and comedy are incredibly similar. And the only difference is in comedy, you are relieving the tension with the punchline. In horror, you are letting that tension resolve in the thing that people expect or worse. But they both rely on that feeling of like building anticipation and then surprise, or sometimes the surprise is that it's not a surprise. And I think that Space does a really good job of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think related to everything that we've been talking about, there's this one show that I watched recently called Baby Reindeer. I don't know if any of you have seen it yet, but
I have not, but it's on my list.
It's very good. It's very tense, very awkward, and just like very uncomfortable. So it's about a bartender who has a stalker, and events unfold. It's very weird, very creepy. I think we are at time, so let's go ahead and wrap this conversation up. Thanks everyone for being a part of the project, first of all. It's been amazing just like working with all of you. You're all so talented and you're so good. Starting with, let's start with Aaron. Where can we find you on the internet? Actually, let's pedal back a little bit more. Tell us who you are, remind us who you are, where can we find you on the internet, and is there anything you'd like to promote?
Hi, I'm Aaron Catano-Saez. You can find me on all socials at Aaron Catano-Saez. I'm a voiceover person who does voiceover occasionally, is trying to do it more. But yeah, you can find me online on Twitter and Instagram and all that crap. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear from you.
Awesome. Next.
You say Austin?
Yes.
Okay, hey, that's me. I'm Austin Taylor. My pronouns are he, they, she. You can find me everywhere I want to be found on the internet. At Taylor Austin, that's Taylor S-E-T Austin. If you don't find me under that, I don't want you to find me. Stop looking. That's the only one I want you to find. You find a different one, I will just block you. I'm on Max Fun Weekly, Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries. Find it where you get podcasts or on Max Fun, or go to Taylor Austin on whatever social media. I tweet about it a lot. Thanks for having me. This is a blast.
I'm David. I use any pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at DJones. I'm David Jones-Krause. I should have said my last name. You can find me on Twitter at DJones-Krause. Pretty much every other social website at David Jones-Krause. It's available, I think, until sometime in early March. But the Games for Palestine bundle on Tiltify, my solo journaling game Ebb, is in there. Check it out. It's for a good cause. Yeah, that's my stuff. I make music.
Wait, did you mean early May? You said early March.
I did mean early May, yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much again, everyone. I am Banana Chan. My pronouns are she, they, and he. You can find me on most social media platforms at Banana Chan Games. And I am currently promoting this game, The Darkness at the Brink of Ohio. So if you are interested, if you want to check us out, give us money. We are on Kickstarter until June 6th. And then on BackerKit. So if you missed the Kickstarter, you can give us more money on BackerKit. So
It's true.
All the money. Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye.